Hi there. Today I'd like to look at some tips and techniques to help children who are struggling with the blending strategy. So come and join me as we go through some little strategies, some little tips that you can help children on their way with blending. The first strategy I'd like to share with you is what I call isolated blending. Now don't forget, when we help the kids with blending, it's so important that we start loud when we start saying our sounds, and as we get to the end of the word, we get softer. So let's have a look at this word here, mop. When I'm helping a child to blend this word, I start loud. Op. Now you can see what I've done with isolated blending. I've said every sound on its own. Don't forget, start loud, and as I get to the end of the word, then get softer. So it's op, and then we push the sounds together, mop, to create the whole word. Have a go with me, but with using a different word this time. I'm going to use this word here. So when children are trying to blend, the words are unfamiliar, so they don't know how to read a word. So we start with isolated blending. Start loud and then get softer as we go. Have a go with me. Let's try it again. And we push the sounds together to create the word. Fin. Now the next little tip, if children are still having trouble with blending when we're doing isolated blending, then we have another strategy, and this is what I call final blending. Final blending is when we snap those first two sounds together. So let's have a look at this word that I've got here. Now I know it says got, but for a child who's never seen this word before and they're struggling with blending, final blending means that we snap those first two sounds together. So let's have a look here. It's got. So snap those first two and then snap that last one, that final sound. Got. Have a go with me with this word. So remember, let's snap the first two, push those two sounds together, P, and then snap that last one, P, Now if a child is still having trouble blending, then the next one is what I call successive blending. Now successive blending is when we just stretch those sounds. So the word here, unfamiliar to a child who's trying to read that word, so I help them with blending by stretching that word out. A lot of teachers call this stretchy snake. Same thing. Pen, to create the whole word pen. Have a go with me with this word. Let me see. So let's stretch that word out. Let's stretch the sounds out. Sit, sit. So 3 little tips that I'd like you to remember when you're helping a child blend. The first, don't forget, with isolated blending, start loud and then get softer as you go, as you get to the end of the word. If a child still has trouble with that, then move on to final blending, where you snap those first two sounds together and then snap that final sound. And then if they're still struggling, then move on to successive blending, or stretchy snake, as some teachers call it, where you're stretching a word out so a child can still hear that spoken word. Have a go, and I hope those kids who are struggling with blending are on that journey and on that road to being able to blend.